Hey, how's it going, everybody? In this video, we're going to be talking about documents, what they are, and how to actually create one and finally send one to your contact. So, documents are basically client-facing, you know, things that you will send, to your customer. Things like a brochure, a contract, an invoice. Packages are also considered documents, and there's an entire video on how to create packages as well, proposals, questionnaires, or custom documents. But these are essentially things that you send to your client to make sure that you get paid on time, that you're following the correct rules, and also displaying your services. So to create a document, you can go to documents, and you can go to create the create document button, and here you can choose from a list of documents that you'd want to create. So for now, I'm just going to create a brochure. So I'll be navigated to this page, and I'm just going to close this tab right here. So it's going to ask you if you want to create a template or if you want to create a file. Now, a template is basically a reusable document. So, and then a file is sort of like, if you think about it, like a copy of the template that you actually send off to your client. So if I want to just create like a file, this is something that I'm not going to reuse. It's just kind of one off and I'm going to send it. But if I create a template, it's something that I know this design that I create, I'm going to reuse constantly. So for now, I'm going to create a document file. If I create a document file, I will have to attach it to a project. So here I got a new client project that I created. Actually, this was created automatically through some automation when a client fills out a new contact form. So I'm gonna attach it to this project, and then I can actually either create from an existing design and choose from a library of templates, or I can start from blank. So I'm gonna start from blank, and here we have the document builder. This is a fully drag and drop document builder. And here I can use various elements to drag and drop to, add content. So I can add a heading. I can add just regular text. I can add images. I can add a carousel of images. I can even embed videos. And I can, kind of configure all of these items. So in here, I can actually choose, the font of this text. I could choose the font weight, the size, the color of the text, where the alignment is, line height. This very customizable. So it definitely take some time to like kind of play around with these fields. But the way that you get to these properties is by clicking into the actual box of each, element that you've dragged and dropped. You can also configure the body of the entirety of the document. So if I want, I can actually choose like the text color of all of the text, not just individual text. I can also choose the background color of the entire document. I can choose the content width to make it wider. I can choose all the contents alignment. And these are just kind of like global settings of the entire document, right? So there's a lot of things you can kind of configure here. You can also configure blocks. So you can add another block, and essentially adding another block means you can add more content into this block. So right here, I added another heading into that block that I just dragged in. Perfect. So this is kind of how you create documents. And once you're done creating, you can click send to a contact, and this contact is already linked to the project. If your contact is not linked, then it'll basically say, add more contacts to the project, in which case you can click on that and it'll add it to the contact. So now there's this concept of primary and secondary contacts. So if you use smart fields, the smart fields will basically fill out the information of the contact that you select as the primary contact. You can add another contact to send this document to, but if you use smart fields, and I'll kind of go through it briefly here, but there's another video that'll show up that, that you can go find, and it'll kind of go through in detail about what smart fields are, how to use them and stuff like that. But as you can see here, because I set this person as the primary contact. If I click preview, which I can on the right hand corner, it'll resolve the first name of my primary contact. If I hit send document, it'll send it to both contacts, but the smart fields resolve for, the primary contact information. So I'm going to go ahead and click send document, and your client will actually receive an email with the document link. And I'm going to just show you, you can also copy the link and send it to them as well. And I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like on their end. So they'll see this document. They'll be able to like interact with it, flip through the, the content, stuff like that. Awesome. So that is documents, and that's kind of an overview of how to use documents for your business. Thanks for watching.